extra cash in your door this month in your martial arts school? Well, I'm gonna show you the 5 ways you're gonna add on an extra $20,000 per month. Gotta check this out. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters. I am the Sales and Systems Sensei. Super pumped to be here. I actually help martial arts schools from all around the world. Up to now, I've helped about 275 school owners, and we help them with marketing and business systems to take their school and skyrocket them to success. Now, this is all based off the fact that we created our own 7-figure school. Back when I was 18, the school was about to shut down. My family's school, we actually decided to go all in, and that was the beginning of learning and developing the 7FD method, which we perfected, going from a few $1,000s a month to over $1 million a year in just under 4.5, maybe 5 years. So how do you add an extra $20,000 per month? Well, there seems like a couple of easy ways to go about it, right? You gotta get new students, you gotta get people to pay more, etc. And yes, those are ways that you can get that extra $20,000 per month, but if it's okay with you, I wanna show you behind the scenes of what I found to work really well and also be consistent moving forward. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to start working with shorter term commitments. We need to get rid of those old 12-month contracts, those 24-month contracts that we're trying to get someone to sign up for right off the bat. And we want to go to something that's simpler. 90 days to 6 months. That seems to be the sweet spot for getting that initial commitment. You see, people are just not certain about the times these days. What's going to happen next? Is my security and my future, is that going to be something that I can predict? And post-COVID, I would say that the vast majority of people are a little shaken by what happened in the past. So in order to get that immediate yes, in order to help provide some security, have them start off with a short-term commitment and then build in that long-term commitment within the short-term program. In other words, have them sign up for 90 days, 4 months, 6 months, but then cast the vision for a long-term program so you can increase the total lifetime value of that customer, of that student coming in the door. Number 2, make sure you take prepays. Now, I know a lot of people really don't want to take prepays because they want to build up their recurring revenue. And yes, you can build your recurring revenue, but you need to be able to take prepays in order to build the influx of cash in your door. Now, you don't have to cash out every single person. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you should definitely be providing an option for someone to prepay and infuse cash into the life cycle of your school. So we want to go ahead and get them to say yes and offer that prepay, get that cash in the door, and then take that cash and immediately deploy it again to get more students. Number 3, we need to change from a membership model to a program model. A program model is when we actually have a goal in mind. When someone signs up, they're signing up for a specific time and they're also signing up for a specific objective. A membership model is all based around the features, the benefits for being a member, having access to certain things, facilities, class times, etc. Whereas a program has nothing to do with those things. Program is more like getting a college education, right? I'm going to go achieve a degree, and I know it's going to take me about 4 years to do that. So I'm more committed to the process, whereas a membership is, I can just show up if I want to access these things, but if I don't want it, I can cancel it. Whereas with a program, I'm not really canceling my process of getting to my degree. I'm giving up on my dream of getting a degree. So there's a greater amount of weight in one versus the other in the mind of the consumer. And we want to create a little bit of friction there so it's not as easy for somebody to say, you know what, I'm just done, and are no longer responsible for continuing in that initial journey that they set out to achieve. So if I can get them to commit to being in a program, if I can get them to buy into the fact that they have to achieve something and not just that they get access to features and benefits, then it's more likely that person is going to value my program much more, which helps me increase what I'm asking for in the beginning. So I can actually charge pricing that makes more sense. Number 4, I need to increase the frequency that I'm enrolling students. If I'm only enrolling 2, 5, 10 students a month, I'm really not going to see an uplift in any of the other things that are in step number 5, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a moment. So I need to increase that volume. New students are the lifeblood of your school. You've got to get them in the door. So if you're not spending your time marketing, if you're not figuring out how to pull those new students in, that's priority number 1 for you. And number 5, you need to spend time on adding multiple streams of revenue into your school. You cannot just have recurring revenue and new students as your only 2 methods for getting cash in the door. I mean, we should be talking about not only recurring and new students, but we should also be talking about upgrades. What do you have down the pipe later on that they can say, yeah, I want to pay you more because I value what you're giving me? And what kind of retail do you have? People want to buy swag. People need to buy equipment. You want to be able to have both needs and wants available for your students. With the invention of online shopping, it's easier, more so now than ever before, to offer retail items that you don't have to physically stock in-house in your school. So add those retail items in your school in order to attract additional revenue into your school. And the other thing that we also want to do is we want to focus on events. We want to have free events, don't get me wrong, that's part of the strategy to get new students in the door, but we also want to have paid events. Now, these paid events can be one-time events where we're having maybe a few hours, like a seminar or some type of parents' night out, or they could last over the duration of several weeks. We have several strategies that we teach our clients in which we have them promote events that last over several weeks that they can then be paid and reimbursed for the time of the instructor. And it makes a whole lot of sense for the school owner doing these things because the student is getting a ton of value, the instructor's having a ton of fun being able to teach these things maybe they can't teach in a regular class, and they're making more revenue. So you want to be able to have events in different types and forms. And obviously there's things like camps or summer camps or retreats if you're doing jiu-jitsu retreats or whatever for adults. But we want to think in terms of what are ways that we can create one-off events or events that last only a few weeks that our students can take advantage of and they can pay us for. So guys, if you're wanting to add an extra $20,000 per month, you need to be able to get all of these things in place. You got to have the shorter term commitments. You got to make sure you're doing those prepays. The prepays alone can start racking you up. In other words, if you started off with, let's say you had a prepay and it was $1,000 and you had 5 people prepay, that's $5,000 of revenue right then and there. You start adding in your recurring revenue. You start adding in the new students. You start adding in the retail and you start adding in the events. And pretty soon you're doing just like our client Paula. When she started, she had about 10 to 15 students. And within about 9 months to a year, we had already helped her increase all the way up to 120, 130 clients. She went from doing a few $1,000s a month to hitting $20,000+ a month. You can do it. There is a simple process and a way in which you can do it. And if you want to hear more, if you're interested and you're like, man, what does this all mean? I would invite you to reach out to us. Just go to sevenfiguredojo.com/call and hop on a call with me or a member of my team so we can see how we might be able to help you get to that first $20,000 a month or even double that $20,000 and make it $40,000. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, be awesome.